Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account and we're going to be looking at the treasure scramble. Now overall, when it comes to this PvP aspect, you can see we are ranked at 38. We have been doing incredibly well within the treasure scramble, and I wanted to share with the guides from the AFK guys. That way we can check it out and see exactly the teams we're using in here, and I am using the teams that they are recommended. So let's hop over, take a look at it, and let's break down this guide. All right guys, so here we have our guide from AFK guys. Big shout out to them for this visual guide. Now, of course, looking in here, there are going to be a multitude of heroes in here and also a lot of substitutions, and these teams are really crushing it. So let's start in our top left. Now, you'll notice right off the bat that this is the awakened version of Shamira. We are also running Braun in here. Substitutions in here, they are down below. We see Kanis and Rook, which of course traditionally ran within this team. We have Olgath in here, Lady Simona. Now, looking at Lady Simona, she and the awakened version of Shamira are two that run together incredibly well. Now you can also notice we have Rimuru in here. If you did not pick up or buy Rimuru, he is actually showing in here. And when you look at Rimuru, it is a support kind of hero. We're not really looking at the primary damage that Rimuru is putting out. It is more of the support aspect. And of course, there are a lot of subs in here. If you're looking down here at the two team version, when you're running team 1, team 2, which a lot of players are at or just getting past there, you can see that we do have Shuna in here and we have Liberta in here, which of course is the best in slot. A lot of different formations and a lot of different substitutes in here. And I will also put a link down to the guide down below so you can check it out. Now looking at team 2, which is our burst team, this of course we have Matria and we have Kelton. So we are starting to see Kelton actually being used in a lot of different formations. We're also seeing him used within the Cursed Realm Nightmare Corridor. It's kind of an interesting, hero that it's taken a little bit of a time to really ramp him up where we're seeing him. But at this point, we are seeing him used a considerable amount, and he is being actually dropped in a couple formations. Matria, of course, in here. Now we do have V in here, or the Chad, as we like to call him. You can see some substitutions with the awakened version of Lyca. We have Adrian and Elise in there, and a few other ones that are going to work absolutely perfect. Then the awakened version of Athalia. That is the burst. When you think of a burst hero, when you think of a burst formation, the awakened version of Athalia is still probably the #1 burst hero that we have within AFK Arena, making it really important for PvP. And then of course, Tamaris is in here. You can see again some variations down here. And there is also a version with the version of Gwen. It's not the awakened version of Gwen, but it is the draconic version of Gwen. Again, that does work incredibly well in this formation. And we actually see this run in a lot of the PvP comps. And of course, if you're looking at substitutions, the awakened version of Lyca can fill a ton of different slots in here. Then, of course, looking at team 3, this is Gavis. Now, this is an old school team that used to be the awakened version of Belinda with Gavis. Now, at this point, it seems like Eugene is finally starting to see a little bit more shine. And we're also seeing it with the awakened version of Lucius. Because remember, in this game mode, we are running the exact same levels, and that is the big thing. Now, you'll also notice the awakened version of Antandra is coming into a couple different formations. We have Hilduin in here, we see Shuna in here, we see Rimuru in here. There are a lot of different heroes, but again, looking at the Gavis team, this is very important because Gavis is the one that provides the utility and really the survivability when it comes to the awakened version of Belinda and the awakened version of Lucius alike. And then, of course, we are running the Ice Crown in here so we can do the crowd control, which makes this team really catapult. Now, you notice Milan is in here as well. I don't know utility with the hero. I don't have the hero built, but at this point, you can see big ones in here, of course, running Jerome, Adrian Elise, very important. Then Team 4 goes into the Ulna Rem. Now, PvP, when it comes to Ulna Rem is still very broken, especially in this iteration within the forest. The damage is really through the roof with this hero. And when you add in the survivability of running Ulna in this formation, it is the place and the reason why Ulna is staying very high within the tier list themselves. The awakened version of Lyca is in here. We have Demia, and then of course we have Gwen. So very similar to what we've seen with the first team with that Gwen combination. You can see we are also seeing that as in here as well. We have Ezio in here. Then of course Kelton, and look at Naruko is using and being utilized in here. Valkyrie is in here. Unfortunately, at this point, Valkyrie is starting to drop off quite a bit. Not seeing Valkyrie used quite as much. When we get into Team 5, it is the Dims. Now, of course, when you start looking at Shuna, when you start looking at Amelia, and then the awakened version of Sophia, it's a pretty broken combination because you can provide an incredible amount of crowd control. You have a lot of buffs out of here from Albedo, but of course, with the buffs of the rest of the team, makes it super difficult for Naruko and Nadia to actually die. And then Amelia is doing a ton of damage in here. And you'll also notice the Ice Crown is in here again. You can swap up a couple different pets depending on who you're fighting. And also remember, if you're running Talisman is actually one that can go in there and actually fill a slot. If you're fighting Hypos, if you're fighting Greyborn, that does and will work incredibly well. Now you also notice we see the awakened version of Brutus in here. Still an absolute monster. Hilduin is in here. You can also see Rem, and if you're running Liberta and Lucilla in here, this is kind of the older formation that we've been seeing. Now, number 6, SEAL Team 6, I still love that it's called this. This is the Slumbering Seal, and this is the team that is incredibly, incredibly difficult to kill, especially if you're running not only this combination because of the damage mitigation that we see from Hilduin and, of course, from Merlin, but also if you're running Taylene, if you're running Thorin, if you're running Flora. It is a very, very hard team to kill because of the seal and the amount of damage that the Slumbering Seal can put out in a very, very short amount of time. Now, when we get into team number 7, it is the awakened version of Belinda. Now, again, this is kind of an interesting one because we have the shields from Ivan that are going up on Belinda. We have Jerome, who is buffing. We also do have the Rock Lizard that is buffing. Palmer is buffing. Adrian and Elise is buffing. Everyone in this formation is literally trying to get the awakened version of Belinda to ult, which, of course, burning down this very fast. Now, if you're not running the Rem combination, you can see Ulna run with the awakened version of Belinda is, again, a very strong PvP combination. If you're not running Rem within the formation, Gavis is the other one that we do see as a substitution in multiple places. But, of course, if Gavis is being run in the formations, and that's the reason why we really talked at the beginning of this, where if you're running over heroes or different formations, kind of collaborating them together, making sure that you're not substituting or really cannibalizing other formations to build the ones that we have. Then, of course, the bonus team in here, the awakened version of Sophia. Again, looking at Kanisa and Brooke, looking at Naruko, and this has Tarnos. Now Tarnos, of course, was one of the biggest PvP heroes that we've seen in a considerable amount of time. Still being used in here, again, depending on exactly who you have in this formation. You can put and really have a lot of utility with the heroes that are in here. So guys, again, I'm going to put a link down to the guide down below so you guys can check it out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Treasure Scrambled Forest debuff guide from the AFK guys. And again, big shout out to them. But that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.